up, you guys? I am Coach Danny Purdy, and I'm going to be breaking down the various kettlebell hold positions. I get a lot of questions on this. Hey, how do I hold the front rack position? How do I do the overhead? How do I do the side farmer's carry? I'm going to be breaking it down one by one so that you are doing it properly, you're gaining the benefits of the movement the way it's designed to be. Now, if you're here because you just want one type of hold, check the playlist. I've chopped these up into individual segments for you so that you can just go straight to the source. But if you want a little bit of a longer video, keep watching. This first one is the basic farmer's carry. Okay, so back in the farm, you're carrying hay bales or buckets or whatever, and you're just holding it like this. Now, one thing that I see often is when people are doing their farmer's carry, they're kind of rounding their shoulders forward, and they're letting the dumbbells kind of sway side to side. You really want to make sure that you're sticking your chest out, your upper back is nice and tight, and these dumbbells, or sorry, kettlebells are right in line with your hips. Shoulders stacked right over your hips as well. That way you're owning these kettlebells. The kettlebells are not owning you. Moving on to the suitcase carry, or the suitcase position. Only difference between the farmer's carry and the suitcase carry is that you're using one object or one kettlebell in this situation. When I program this movement for my clients, I just refer to it as a one-arm farmer's carry. The only time I would refer to it as a suitcase carry is if I'm programming a suitcase deadlift, when the intent of that is that the object is going to be on the outside of the body. So a suitcase deadlift, just like you're lifting a suitcase, you're here, you're bending over, and then you're picking it up with that object on the outside of your body. But it's no different than the farmer's carry. You're holding it right here by your side, your shoulders are stacked over the hips, that kettlebell is right there by your hip, and you're owning that position, you're not letting it own you. If you're doing deadlifts, you want to make sure that that object or the kettlebell is on the outside of your body. Moving on to the front rack carry, or the front rack hold. This one is near and dear to my heart because I used to coach group classes in CrossFit, and I would see people bastardize this movement all the time, and it would piss me off. So I'm here to set the record straight. Front rack kettlebell hold. You're here in this position, and it's right here in front of your body, right in front of your chest. Okay, so if you're looking at it from the side, those kettlebells are in the front of your body. They're not way out here. They're not chicken winged like this, and they sure as heck aren't resting on your shoulders like this, okay? To reap the benefits of this position, and this is such a good position to master because it really takes a lot of shoulder, pec, forearm, lat, scapular control and strength and stability, and when you do these things, you're not engaging all of those muscles. So I like to kind of think of this as like if you're holding a shield in each hand, a small shield in each hand. You're trying to protect your heart. So if you're just doing it with one, you've got a shield right here, and you're trying to protect your vitals. So if you're trying to protect your vitals and you have a shield, you wouldn't be way out here. You wouldn't be resting it on top of your shoulder. You would be right here, right in front of your chest, making sure nothing gets through, all right? And it's the same thing if you've got a double front rack carry. So you're in this position. You could do your thrusters like this. You could do your front squats like this. You could do front rack walks, static holds. The sky is the limit here. And by the way, this is also the bottom position of a kettlebell strict press. So you want to always get back into this front rack position. Moving on to the next one is the overhead hold. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. You got both dumbbells. You can do these single or double, but you've got your kettlebells in this position, and you're pressing overhead to lock out. What you want to think about is the kettlebell stacked over your shoulder, not way out here, not off to the side like the YMCA. You're here, straight up and down, okay? So when you're doing your overhead holds, it's super important to make sure that those kettlebells are straight up and down. You want to think about your arm being straight up and down as well. Another thing to think about is keeping your belly tucked in nice and tight, not overextending the back. Moving on to the Philly press, okay, or the Philly hold. So the Philly, technically the Philly hold or the Philly position is where you have one dumbbell overhead and one kettlebell in the front rack position. But if all you have is kettlebells, you could just replace that dumbbell with a kettlebell. So if you have 2 kettlebells, you're here, you're getting that nice good front rack position, you're pressing overhead, and you're here. This is the Philly position, okay? You can do static holds here, you can do walks, you can do lunges, you can do presses, keeping one kettlebell here, and then the other kettlebell you're pressing overhead. The sky is the limit. Be creative. This is really what makes functional bodybuilding really, really cool, is that your own creativity is the limiter. So that is the Philly position, the Philly hold, the Philly walk, however you're going to implement it. Last but definitely not least is the cross body position. So like the name implies, cross body, one arm overhead, the other arm down by your side. So it's a combination of an overhead hold and a farmer's hold. So you're here, you get one in that front rack position, press overhead, and now you're just holding this. Stacked, remember, shoulders stacked, just like a farmer's hold, arm vertical, just like an overhead. And that's the cross body position. Arguably the most challenging position of all of them is the cross body, especially if you're doing things with your lower body like a squat or a lunge or a walk. If you're statically holding, it might be a little bit easier than a double overhead hold because mobility might be a limiter, but it's a fantastic one to throw into the mix. Once again, the sky is the limit when it comes to kettlebell stuff. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, please comment, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you know somebody who would love this channel or this video, please send it their way.